What's up, boys and girls? Welcome back to Play Some Video Games, the official podcast. What's that? Kevin's not here. He is indisposed. But joining me is one Mr. Donnie Reese. Donnie, hello.
Good evening. How are you?
Not too bad. I'm doing okay. I'm in the new house, and I'm back on Play Some Video Games, the official podcast. So I'm excited. I'm ready to talk some video games. But joining us is also Coach Mo. Coach, welcome back to the program. How are you this evening?
I'm good, bud. Feeling good.
Are you sure? That doesn't sound like you're feeling good.
I'm watching my puppy. Gotta keep her safe.
Well,
She ate some onions.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe. So, you ate some onions?
Yeah, and the spaghetti. And she knocked on the floor and had a little nibble, and now she's giving me that, Dad, I'm not feeling good, brother. So
there's no achievements in watching your dog. You know that, right?
There is life achievements. Wah, 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 wah. You just got coached.
That's Google Glass's next invention.
Life achievements?
Life achievements that pop up in your Google Glass.
No,
How great would that
legit
be?
Apple Watch has life achievements when you walk around and everything.
It's like, you weren't lazy today.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, congratulations. You stood up 12 hours or whatever it was.
Yep, that's
Anyway.
one of mine.
We're not here to talk about Apple Watch, are we?
Why not?
No.
Okay.
Apple Watch is life.
We're here to talk about playing some video games. And recently, what have you guys been playing, Mo? How about you?
I've been playing Pokemon Go.
Pokemon
and then
Go.
after Pokemon Go, I've played some Pokemon Go. And then I finished that, and then I played more Pokemon Go.
So what you're saying is you've played Pokemon Go?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, okay. So, tell me then, with Pokemon Go, why are you playing so much of it?
Okay. So this started as me just jokingly going, "Oh, this is gonna be stupid," and then you actually go and you do the flip of the Pokeball to catch the Pokemon as you're walking around your neighborhood, and then it gets really addicting. And I'm like, okay, I'll try this out a little more. And then someone who I won't name so as not to embarrass them, Q. He posted in our group chat for the PSVG folks how he already evolved 3 Pokemon and he was so good at catching them. And I'm super competitive, so then I drove around San Antonio to level up higher than him, and which I am now, and evolve more Pokemon than him, and then get them evolved even higher.
So you drove
right now I'm beating
around
him.
San Antonio?
Yep.
So-
Capturing Pokemon for about 10 hours yesterday.
That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, like, run and, like, walk and ride a
Well,
bike.
I
maybe.
drove to the place and then got out and walked around and caught as many as I could in that mall shopping area, because they seem to be your highest number of Pokemon, which is a little backwards. Seem to be in like very high populated areas. You'd think that not high populated areas, that's where they'd actually be if I was a Pokemon trying to avoid people, but that's hearsay. And so I just kept going to malls and outlets and shopping centers and capturing as many as I could, and then sacrificing them to the Overlord to get candy.
You're sacrificing Pokemon to get candy.
Yes, because you need the candies to evolve the Pokemon, and so the only way for me to catch Q was to sacrifice them so that they all die, so I get the candy. That's how I do it.
So what you should have said, Mo, is that Pokemon Go is not Pokemon for 3DS, Nathan. Pokemon Go operates differently than the standard Pokemon video game.
Yeah.
I guess so, because I don't remember any sacrifices going on.
You
doing
must
it.
sacrifice
I don't know.
to
Sun and
equal.
Moon
You
might
don't
be different.
sacrifice. You can turn
They're
Pokemon.
sacrificed.
You
Where
can
do they go with
turn.
it?
You can turn Pokemon in, especially like your duplicates, into the professor, and in return you get candy. And if you give candy to your Pokemon, they evolve.
Professor.
So what does the professor do with these Pokemon when you give it to him?
That's what I'm saying.
Studies them. He learns from
Sure he
them.
does.
Wait, what happens
isn't
to
he
them?
25 Pidgeys? Is he studying all 25 of them?
Maybe he's making a plane or something. Maybe you know, with
With
Pidgey power.
That might work.
Wow. Okay.
I've also been playing Pokemon Go.
Well, okay. So hold on. Have you been driving around San Antonio? Oh no, you wouldn't be driving around San Antonio. You'd be driving around Atlanta.
Hotlanta.
Hotland.
No, as I mentioned last week podcast, crazy busy week over 4th of July. So today I was actually off, and to celebrate, I kept the kids out of summer school or daycare or however you want to call it. And we went to the pool in this park, this community pool that's nearby. And while they were swimming, I walked around the park and tried to catch Pokemon. And there's even like 2 or 3 Pokemon stations or centers that I checked in.
Pokestops.
Pokestops. I'm not as high on the game, I don't think, as Q and Mo are. I will say, having played it for a week, it is a lot better than it showed at E3. I can't believe they made that game look so bad. It's not that bad. It is kind of fun to walk around. I also played it a bit on my lunch break on Thursday. I just kind of, as I went to go get a salad, I just walked around and pulled it out, and I went into a gym, but I wasn't level enough at the time to participate. But I did capture a few Pokemon and check in at a couple more Pokestops. It's, I would say, for the people that are thinking, this isn't for me, or I'd say I'm going to give it a try, because it definitely makes walking around a little more entertaining. But it's not a Pokemon experience. If you're like, I'm never going to buy Pokemon Sun Moon because now I have Pokemon Go, totally different experience.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, that's how you feel? You're never going to play Pokemon again because of this? Well, I feel the opposite.
Perfect. So this is perfect.
It's fun, but the whole the lack of true battling system and whatnot and multiplayer, I think, is, and maybe that comes. Nintendo stocks surged. If you guys didn't see it, I think their stocks are up like 9 or 10% in like 2 days.
Why Nintendo? They don't own Pokemon.
No, but they publish the game and they do get revenue. So they are the Pokemon company's gaming partner, and they definitely have their hands in the development and publishment with Niantic on this game as the pillar of their mobile efforts. So their revenues do increase as people keep pumping money into Pokemon Go. And if Miitomo is anything to be expected, there's no telling how much money people are going to pump into this game to keep getting more Pokeballs. Have you put any money into it yet, Mo?
$10. Because I was working on the review, and so I was like, I'm gonna buy a little bit of everything and try everything out. The egg incubators are a waste of time. You already have that one that doesn't die, so just keep that one. But the lure module is probably the coolest feature. I used it at a Pokestop at the Quarry Shopping Center, and I met a young couple there who, because I used that lure module, more Pokemon were coming to this Pokestop. Another couple was walked up, and then we were like, they were catching some of them. We were talking about it. We stayed there for about 30 minutes, then we walked around together and kept talking. They were teaching me some Poke lore, because the only Pokemon game I've ever played was Yellow.
Good one.
And after that, I didn't play any other ones because, again, they're not really my type of game. But what I love is yesterday I hit 30,000 steps just from walking around catching Pokemon. So, it was a good day.
I'm not a mobile gamer. I don't play really any games on my phone, for that matter. I have a couple installed, but I wouldn't. It's been months, since I played anything, and I don't count Miitomo, because I check in Miitomo if I'm bored or something, but I don't actively play anything. And this thing got me opening my phone a few times, and that's something. I think it's got more lasting appeal than Miitomo for sure.
Yeah, there's just some little things they need to fix. So,
go ahead, Nathan.
There's no weird questions to answer, right?
No, there's no weird questions to answer. There's really no communication with in-game players. It is very much like a solo experience. You can go to gyms, and correct me if I'm wrong. And actually, before I even say this, before you correct me, Mo, I do love that this game kind of just dropped and there's really no instructions at all. There's so many tweets and people posting in forums like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and my Pokemons are dead, and how do I? It's there's a lot to discover in this game, Nathan, and they don't hold your hand. So there is no Nintendo like, go here, do this, do that, do this, do this. It's more or less walk around and figure it out. So the discovery is a lot of fun. But Mo, I believe you go to check in as a gym, and you can battle the gym Pokemon that's there, and if you win, then you can leave your Pokemon there.
Sure can. I actually went to the comic book shop down here, Alien Worlds. That was one of the places the gym popped up. And I ended up winning after a couple battles there, and now I've got people defending it, or Pokemon defend it. But what you were saying, oh my goodness, I lost my train of thought.
I'll step in here. So Nathan, there's a as you conquer these gyms and you level up, then you can kind of pick squads, and then the whole global effort is for Squad A to beat Squad B. And it's very much, it's Ingress.
And where does Team Rocket fit into this whole equation?
I have yet to know that they're around. I don't think they fit in. I don't think they're part of Pokemon Go.
Ooh, I'm back.
All right.
So you were talking about how they don't hold your hand to tell you what they're doing. I kept posting in the group chat we're in with all the PSVG staff going, hey, how do you do this? What's this? I don't understand this. And then the 30 minutes I spent with that awesome couple over at the quarry, they were showing me how to do stuff, and the young man there, his name was Nate. He made the best realization. He said that the reason it doesn't hold your hand is because that's like if you were really a Pokemon trainer, you would have to like no one's holding your hand as you do it, you just go. And he's like, so he thinks that's why they did it this way, was so that you're learning on the fly, kind of like they would imagine one of the characters from the game. And he named a couple, but I didn't know any of them other than the main guy, Ash.
I was gonna say who we apparently also don't know.
Yeah, nope, I had to pick it up. But no, if they're listening, I did tell them about PSVG. Nate and Steph, thank you guys so much. It was such an awesome opportunity to learn and catch Pokemon with you guys.
Cool.
So, before we go into you, Donnie, anything else besides Pokemon that you've been playing recently, Mo?
Me and Mr. Dan Anthony have been hunting down achievements and quests in Destiny. And the biggest one that I've been playing, the one that I want to make sure I mention, Pac-Man 256, is the most addicting, fun game, and it's a quick 500 achievements. The other 500 are going to take some time. Really, really fun, really just enjoyable game, and getting to change it and play all the different styles. But if you're looking for a $5 game, Pokemon 256, just incredible.
What happened to like the 250 before it?
I have no idea. Oh no, I was saying Pokemon 256.
Yeah, that was like Pac-Man.
Pac-Man 256.
I mean,
sorry.
Pac-Man, yeah.
I was thinking Pokemon Go.
What's the 256 stand for?
That's actually one of the achievements. You have to eat 256 pellets in a row without stopping, to keep that streak, and then you get a power up for doing that.
Interesting. Okay, so that's a new release then?
I think it was last week, but right now, I was playing it, and then I got our friend Josh, Dan, Haley, Brian all picked it up, and now they're all playing it, and they're all just as addicted as I am. Just a super fun, like you can just sit there and play it and talk to your friends and goof off while you're just enjoying a fun Pac-Man game.
Is this game as good as Peggle?
Yeah,
It's better.
because I don't want to throw things when I play it.
All right. So how about you, Donnie? What have you been playing?
I just bought Pac-Man 256. I got to get in on this. I didn't realize that the game was out. I know all about it. I've been following it for a long time. I didn't realize it dropped yet. Tokyo Mirage Sessions. That's the game I've been playing. When I got my day off, I sat down and really just kind of played it for about 4 or 5 hours. Got a real good gaming session, and I really, really like it. It seems like the more I play that game, the more it grows on me, especially if you get through all of the text and all of the fluff from the beginning, and you actually get into the meat of the game and you can do your thing. It's a lot of fun. That's it. That's the only game I played this week. I didn't play anything on 3DS. I didn't boot anything up on Xbox. That's the one. So,
Well, that's more than what I've played, because let me tell you, all I've played is working on my new house, because I moved in. Well, at least all my stuff is here at this property, at least. There's still some things out in the garage, and we got some stuff to move around in the basement and boxes and things like that, but that's been my time, and I don't even know where my movies or my games or my some of my consoles, I don't know where they are. I know where my Xbox and my PlayStation 4 are, but they're not hooked up yet. So I haven't played any games, except I did, there's just so much about Pokemon Go on Facebook and everywhere. I downloaded it and forgot my Google password for a day, and then I remembered what it was, and then I logged into there, and then the servers were down, but then eventually I was able to get in, and all I've done so far is catch the first Pokemon. So that's the extent of my gaming for this week, and for the past couple weeks, honestly. So with me, I've been pretty boring, I guess you could say, with gaming side of things, but I am totally looking forward to and really needing some gaming therapy. You guys have no idea, the whole situation with buying and selling a house and the stresses and everything with that. I just need some time just to sit down in front of a game, talk with some people on Xbox, and just chill out for a few minutes. You know what I mean?
yeah. Did you sleep in your own bed your first night?
The first night here we did, yes, actually, because I was able to get that set up because we wanted to sleep on that, because the night before, the last night that we spent in the old house, we slept on the floor, and that was terrible.
Oh man, I was just about to say that. I had a friend of mine that recently moved houses, and I moved last year, and he was telling me how stressed he was, and I made the mention to him, two of my favorite moments in life are sleeping on a pallet on the floor, drinking a glass of wine with my wife before we moved. So both those moments I've always found to be, yeah, the sleep isn't great, but it's always a fun experience when you've got everything boxed up, or it's in the truck, or it's all in the middle of the floor, and
Uh-huh.
you're just so tired, you just like, you know what? Let's just throw a blanket and a pillow on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of crash wherever you can, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, the first night we didn't sleep at all because we were going back and forth between the new house and the old house, just getting some last few things, and then we cleaned the house really good, and we didn't get back to our new house, until maybe 7:30, close to 8. And then my wife, she got some sleep, but we had the internet guy come at 8 o'clock. So I met him, and then we had a water guy come at 11 o'clock, and then I had to work in the afternoon. So I didn't get any sleep that day. And after work, I was like, okay, I'll probably crash. But it's just to that point where you've been up so long, and your body's just like, what am I supposed to do? I don't want to sleep, but I don't want to do anything else. And the sun's out. What are you doing? You know?
Yep. It's hard.
But that's it for me. So, without further ado, let's get into some messages this week.
Message for you, sir.
Now, Mo, I'm going to have you give us a few of them because I think these are from some people that you may have recently met that had some questions for the show.
Yeah, let me pull them up real quick. First one we have, this is from one of my favorite people, Amanda over at GameStop. And she wanted to know, if you're stranded on a desert island and you get one system in 3 games, what are they?
Ooh, I'm ready.
Go, Donnie.
Cool.
If I was stranded on an island and I got one system in 3 games, my system of choice would be the Wii U. My first game would be Super Mario Maker. My second game would be Wind Waker. And my third game, that's the one I was dying on. I'll cheat. It's either Mario Kart 8 or Xenoblade. But between those 3 games, I would be able to play video games for a long, long time. Now, I'm assuming that we have networking service. I'm assuming I get the full game experience. I know it's a desert island, but that's my assumption.
Yeah. Cool.
So,
go ahead, Nate. Oh, I got this? Yes. Mine was pretty easy. Xbox One, Madden 16, NBA Live 14, the first one. I like that one. And Forza Horizon 2.
Nice. Forza Horizon 2. Love it. So for me, it's also going to be the Xbox One, and it's going to be a little bit of a cheat here. You guys will probably call me out on this, but it's a single SKU, the Master Chief Collection.
I'll allow it.
Yep.
And I gotta go Witcher. As long as I can have like all the DLC. Well, even if I don't, I mean, Witcher is just such a huge game, gets so much time. How long are we spending on this island?
She didn't tell me. She
Indefinitely.
just said you're stuck.
That's why I
Okay.
picked Mario Maker. My assumption is I just get to check in every day and I get new Mario courses.
So I'll go Witcher, Master Chief Collection, and for my last one, you know what? I'm gonna go Dragon Age Inquisition because I spent a lot of time in that game too, and I still have more to do in that game.
Okay.
What else you got, Mo?
This one's
thanks
from
for the
Jonte.
question.
Yep. Thank you, Amanda. This one's from Jonte. Jonte, he said, after listening to Coach talk about his love for sports games, why do they get so much hate when they sell so well?
I'll field this first. So, I think there's a vocal minority in gaming, in social spheres, that, they buy their Maddens each year, they buy their sports games, whatever it is, each year, and maybe the Call of Duty, and that's what they play. They don't care about anything else that comes out. But then you get the vocal minority that says, oh, I need 1080p 60 on every game and this and that, and I want, nothing but 9s or higher. They're a very loud, small subset of people that don't care about any sort of sports games, that, have probably never played Madden in their lives. But, it's undeniable that sports games are like the keystone of EA for a long time. That was what they relied upon each year was, the Madden release and the NCAA release and the FIFA. So, I mean, it's still a huge, huge portion of EA's business. So I just think it's not. If you look at gaming as a whole and you look at the sales, it's not that they're getting what they say hate. I think it's just that the people that like it and play it a lot, they just like it and play it a lot. They don't say anything negative or anything about it. But the people that don't want to play it at all, it's not for them. They're vocal about it for some reason because they think every game that comes out they're entitled to play and they should want to play, but they don't because they don't want to play a sports game. That's probably what's up.
It's a really good question. I like it. I've stuck up for sports games already on the show. I voted NBA 2K14 my game of the year. I think the year it came out. I think it was hands down one of the best games that came out. I think. Well, I mean, there's a lot to the question. Obviously, the first one is the fact that they're annual releases and they come every year and they're very iterative. For all of the progress that gaming has made, Madden 2006 really isn't completely different from Madden 2000, 2K15 or Madden 15. It's not completely different. I mean, there's more polish. It's better. It's doing more things. I understand it's way more complex.
It can run a cover 4 and a cover 3 properly.
But you're still playing the same game. You're playing football, and you're playing from like the same camera angles and using like a very similar controller. It's very much like the same game. Whereas other franchises get just drastically different, if not completely different all around. I've often said that sports are the core of video games, period. Like the whole thing. Without sports, video games, I don't think video game culture or success or anything of that matter has made it this far from the late 80s. Video games really took off on console when things like NCAA football and Madden and NBA and Jam and all that stuff really started to come into the sphere because it brought a much bigger audience to video gaming. I think the hate, and I would say like hate with quotations, so like air quotes, the hate is from people that I don't want to say that don't play Madden, but you got to look at the gaming media and the people that you're listening to their opinion on. Right. So if you're like listening to a lot of IGN or you're listening to a lot of GameSpot and stuff, like these are video gamers like from the early 90s who grew up playing Earthbound and Sonic and, they like their Final Fantasies and they're more into video games. And it's more of like a geek culture. Right. So it's like very fantasy and sci-fi based and stuff like that. And not say you can't like both. Obviously you can. There are good personalities, I think, that represent sports games. But when you combine that all together, Madden. Is it 16 or 17? 17, right?
Yeah, this would be 17.
Madden 17 could be the best Madden ever, and it's still not going to get the respect because it's not that crazy different than Madden 16. It'd be completely different if Madden just went away. Like if Madden just stopped coming out for 4 or 5 years and came back with all the features that you would expect, then maybe it would get the credit it deserves.
What if it went to space?
See, yeah. And that's the other thing is that you look at Call of Duty, another annualized franchise where people are like, what do you got next? What do you got next? What do you got next? I mean, us as gamers, we're just insatiable. Nobody just is ever getting a game and you'll never look at the internet and everybody go, yep, I'm good. It's great. Love it. I'm done. I don't need anything else. No, it's always what's next, what's better, how to make it better, how to make it bigger, how to make it grander. And sports games are more or less, throwing a blanket statement. They're kind of just doing the same thing they've always done. That doesn't mean that they're better or worse. I think in large part they're better. But I think all that together, if you just kind of look at all those little things, it's just like 1,000 paper cuts. It just kind of gets nicked from a lot of different people. And even the hardcore base, even the huge fans of Madden, they're saying things like my cover 4 doesn't work right. And, I'm getting too many pass interference calls. And how did the QB sneak always work? For years, the QB sneak would always get you like 4 yards. So, the game is so big and it's sold to so many different groups of people that I don't think they'll ever be able to make everyone happy. And then, you never hear, wow, this game is amazing from like the masses. And you'll never like open up Twitter and have everybody going, I love this video game. Chances are people are only tweeting about it if they have something bad to say about it. And so I try to dismiss it. I always just try to dismiss it and make up your own opinions.
Well said.
What say you, Mo?
I don't want to get in the rabbit hole because I want to make sure I'm sending love on this podcast. So I'll just start with this. When I first started playing non-sports games, it was 2008, 2009. when I picked up Assassin's Creed and dove into those and started to love those games. I started trying to listen to podcasts. Tried to follow IGN, tried to follow GameSpot, tried to follow Kotaku, but they would bash sports games, so I stopped listening. And I think that's what the thing is with people who do love sports games. We're not always kind of welcomed into the gaming clubs, and so I didn't feel like I could be a quote unquote gamer because I love sports games. Then there were these just amazing people over at Game Informer who welcomed me in, and there's an awesome writer there, Kim Wallace, who she loves sports games, and she's always talking about how great they are. And I realized, like, then I met you, Nate, I met Dan. Just because I am a sports gamer doesn't mean I'm not a gamer. It just means I prefer sports games. And so with that being said, like, sports gamers, we play most of these games by ourselves. Some people will play online to play against other people. NBA, you'll have guys go through seasons upon seasons without ever playing against another person. And I think that's why it gets the hate, because the people who are playing it, we'd rather just sit and play by ourselves and enjoy the game. And, that's my personal opinion, is that's why they're not so vocal, is because instead of, being on gaming forums that are ripping these games to shred, you need to stop making Madden. They're just playing a game, and they're having a lot of fun doing it.
To piggyback off of your spread the love, there are also forums and communities like Operation Sports and the Press Row podcast, where they give you critical analysis of sports video games, but they love sports games, and then like that's their 100% focus. And I've followed them for years. So
I'd never even heard of them. What are they called?
It's called the Press Row podcast, and their website's called Operation Sports. And
Nice.
they, the reviewer you mentioned, her name jumped on me. I forgot it, but her name jumped to me. She's on there quite a bit. And,
Kimberly Wallace.
Yeah, and they get a bunch of different people together, and they talk about sports games. And that's the place. If you're a sports game fanatic and you're like, man, why does every time I listen to Beyond, they kill people that play Madden? Go listen to this.
Looks like that's where I'm going after this.
Mo's got a new podcast to binge listen to.
Can't wait.
Awesome.
Love it.
So, thank you for that question. Do you have any further ones, Mr. Mo?
We have two more. This one's from Nate. How do you guys feel about Red Dead Redemption as a whole product and its subsequent availability on the Xbox One?
As a disclaimer, that's not me.
Yeah, it's not. Sorry.
So, since it's not me, I'll begin. How do I feel about Red Dead Redemption as a whole product? So, including like Undead Nightmare and everything?
Yeah.
I think it was a well put together game. I played it back on 360. It's been quite a while since I'd played it. I'm looking forward to, because I have it digitally, it should be ready whenever I hook my Xbox up to be able to just let me play it on my Xbox One. I actually already had it installed because of the preview program. So I'm looking forward to, at one point, just, going back. I never did finish the Undead Nightmare. I got, a ways in, something else came out and distracted me. And I want to go back and I want to finish that. So I'm looking forward to getting back into it. And I did hear that the frame rate is actually better on the Xbox One now. So it was 20 on the 360, 20 frames per second, and it's now up to 30 on the Xbox One via backwards compatibility.
Kyle wants to know, what is it on the PS4?
0.
That is so bad, Mo. I'll be the detriment here. I'm not a huge fan of Red Dead. I was given Red Dead by my GameStop manager a couple years ago, and he said, "You've got to play this game. It's one of those games that everybody has to play." And I had never really given it a go, and I did, and I played it for about 2 weeks, and I brought it back, and he's like, "Did you get to Mexico?" And I was like, "I did not." He's like, "The game doesn't get good until you get to Mexico." All right, I'll go put it back in, and I got to Mexico, and I beat the game, and I brought it back to him. He's like, "Did you love it?" No, I didn't. It's not that it's a bad game. It's really not. It's don't take it as a bad game. It's a fine game, but that's the way I think about it. It's just a fine game to me. It's not GTA 5. It's not GTA 3. It's not Vice City in my mind. If you're comparing it like Rockstar games, it's a good Rockstar game. My problem with the game, more or less, is that it's very barren. I found it to be very boring. A lot of the quests I thought to be very boring, and the story just really didn't get me. And the ending, well, you can read about the ending.
But what about when you're in the wilderness and then like you hear a cougar and you're like, "Oh no, where's a cougar?" Or a bear?
See, I don't know. Like, that just didn't do it for me. I don't know. I want to say I've had that experience before that game. I mean, again, I played it
With what game?
3 years ago. So
Tomb Raider.
yeah, it's like 3 years ago. Like when I played it, that didn't surprise me. So it didn't do it for me. But now, to be nice, I do think the Undead Nightmare might be the best DLC that's ever been released. And I do look at them as being separate. And for everything that I didn't like about the first one, the Undead Nightmare, though, really gave me that, that tension and that sense of like this world. And it felt scary and it was a lot of fun. It was kind of like Grand Theft Auto meets Left 4 Dead. I mean, I really, really, really enjoyed the DLC. So for me, it's bittersweet. I'm glad it's available to be played on console. I mean, anything that you can play is great. So good for Xbox One owners. You got something. I hope you enjoy it. I will not be going back to it because, again, just didn't really do it for me.
I'm going to play it. I'm going to beat it. I'm going to hunt down some of those leftover Chiefs. I loved it when it first came out. I tried calling this one for E3. I was like, oh, they're going to announce it's going to be a backpack. It's going to be great. And it took, what is it, a month later?
Almost.
So, little sad that it took so long, making me, have to wait. But really excited for that game. I'm excited for people who haven't played it, especially, younger gamers to jump in. I like the world better than I've liked any of the GTA worlds. It's kind of, I'm opposite of Donnie in that I want to just explore and gather stuff and shoot, birds out of the air and gather the feathers. And I had a lot of fun with just the discovery in there for me. So I enjoyed it. Really excited for it to be out.
And I think there's a lot of people that are pretty excited for it to be out because I don't know what the number is up to now, but the increase in sales at Amazon was over 4,000% after it was announced as a backwards compatible title. And it went backwards compatibility. We're recording this on Friday, the day that it went backwards compatible on Xbox One. So it's a good thing. There's no negative to it. So I'm pretty stoked for it to be once again readily available and easy to play by owners of the Xbox One. Anything else, Mr. Mo?
Last one that I have. How can Call of Duty be so competitive when it releases a new version every year? That's from Chris B.
What does that mean?
I'm guessing he means in sales numbers.
Yeah, like how can it be so good over such a long period of time?
You mean how come why it's on like top 10 lists all every
year when it releases? Yeah, every year.
Okay. Mo, why don't you take this one first?
As somebody who's I've probably spent well over $1,000 on Call of Duty games. Yeah, I can say that pretty easily. The thing that gets me is I love competition. So I love the fact that Chris used the word competitive. I love competition, and that is a game where you get to be competitive. If I have 25 kills and you have 5 kills, I beat you. If I have 18 but you had 20, you win. You beat me. And that's why I buy it. I'm one of those people who I always buy it, play through the campaign, and then I go straight to multiplayer and never go back to the campaign again. And so that's what I've done with Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare, Ghosts. And so I really enjoy Black Ops 3 is probably the best shooter that I've played. Their mechanics are flawless. Like those guns handle super well. If you have ever spent time with a shooter game where you're like, oh, the handling of the gun use is so great, try that one out if you want to see something that's truly spectacular. But I think the reason they're competitive in sales every year is because when you have this format where you're letting everybody taste competition, you're going to get people hooked, and they're going to be hooked for life. Competition is one of the greatest things I've ever known in my life. It's what I do for a living, is I teach kids how to compete in sports. When you get that feeling of being competitive, of winning, it's a great feeling, and this gives it to a huge margin of people. So that's why I think they do so well in sales, is because a whole group of people get to feel competitive.
Donnie?
I watched a documentary once that went through like the amazing ability for Starbucks to give you a very similar cup of coffee across the world. And it went through all like how they do their beans and everything, and it's just like it's a standard of quality that you come to expect. That's why people like it. I would attribute that to Call of Duty. Call of Duty sells well and it's still beloved by so many people because it is quality. It is a quality polished product you get year in and year out. Their control scheme for a shooter, I think, are unparalleled. Just playing Call of Duty feels like how all shooters should play. It's incredible that other games just haven't simply copied it. Like we've seen, Call of Duty clones, but I don't think I've ever sat down with a shooter that felt like Call of Duty. And that said, even though they do come out every year, they have 3 development teams, so each game is in cycle for 3 years. So not only is it quality in terms of its mechanic, each game has 3 years in the hopper, and they're all learning from each other. So when you kind of have this cycle like that, where a team sets the bar and then shares with the other team what they did, and that team then sets the bar, and you just keep going, and it just keeps making it better. So they also usually come with a high amount of polish. Now I know every time it comes out, servers go down, and just like Pokemon Go, when you have millions of people trying to play a game, servers go down. That's just a part of the process. But the game itself, I don't think I've ever played a Call of Duty game where I considered it be broken or janky or anything like that. It is super polished. It plays as you would expect it from start to finish.
And for me, I think it's just that they got the machine down. You know what I mean? Like you said, the mechanics are great. They can only improve on them. I don't think anyone's ever said that the mechanics have gone downhill from game to game, even if they didn't like the game. I know Ghosts, a lot of people pan that and don't like that. There was a lot of people that didn't like Advanced Warfare, and there were a ton of people that don't like where Infinite Warfare is going. And I think that story has changed since that E3 demo or E3 trailer. But it's one of those things where Call of Duty it's like going to a restaurant that you know the menu, the cooks or whatever, how it's going to be prepared, presented, and you don't want to vary from it because that's what you want. So you want to go someplace where you're comfortable and you want to experience that you know what to expect. Because if you only have $60 to buy a game, and let's say you really love Call of Duty and that's really what you play each year, and you just build that library and Call of Duty each year, that's your $60 for the year. That's what you want to play because it's comfortable. It's home. And people are just so used to the controls, so used to the friends that they play with. They build great communities to play these games with, and they understand everybody's, their group, how they play, what they're going to do, where they're going to go in a map. And it's just one of those things where year over year, it's progressively, for the most part, gotten better. And if you look back at the original Call of Duty to where we are now, it's crazy how far and how advanced they've come. Even you look back to Modern Warfare, which I guess could say, that was the start of this modern era of Call of Duty year over year. You look back to that to where we are today, and it's night and day. Yeah, they're remastering the old one, but I heard someone say that you look at Modern Warfare compared to Advanced Warfare that just came out, or Infinite Warfare, how much faster and how much more twitchy it is now today with Infinite Warfare than it was with Modern. It feels slow back with the Modern Warfare. So, it's one of those things where it's just, as gamers play it, they get used to it, and it's comfortable, and that's why it's competitive, and that's why it's lasting on these sales charts. As far as questions go, that's all you've got, right, Mo?
Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, and I do have one from Twitter. So if you follow us on Twitter @_PSVG and send us a tweet with questions, comments, concerns, we will discuss, read, or, just see what's going on with those. And if you can hear, my dog is sleeping behind me, so she's sawing logs, but she's got like a handsaw, not like a chainsaw yet. If you listen closely, she'll be like really loud. So let's see if we can get to that point where she'll join in on the podcast. But so this is from @simply_gaming_. Simply Gaming. They say, quote, @_PSVG. What franchise could use a one-off game sequel/prequel/side story made by a different developer? What developer would you choose? So what franchise could use a one-off sequel, prequel, or side story made by a different developer, and what developer would you choose? Mo?
This actually happened to me yesterday during the big summer sale. So my first Tomb Raider game that I ever played was the one for the Xbox One. That was my first Tomb Raider. So I don't
the remaster or the
definitive
new
yeah
edition.
the remaster, and
Okay.
then I played Rise after that. So I fell in love with the character. So I see on the summer sale there's these Tomb Raider Underworld, Tomb Raider Legends, and I go, oh, I'm gonna pick these up because I love these two, and these are remasters of those, right? Um, I'm in a snow level to start the game, and she's in booty shorts and a tank top, and the other dude's in a burqa, and I just stopped playing. Um, I would love for these older games to be remade where she's respected as a character and allowed to wear clothes. So that was like, I just didn't understand the reason behind it. Like maybe if she was in the jungle, that would be an appropriate outfit, but it's snowing. And so, as somebody who, again, I never played the Tomb Raider, I didn't know who Tomb Raider was till the movie with Angelina Jolie. I found out later that it was based off of a game, and now I found out why she was in the outfit she was in, I guess. But I would love to see those remade and to actually, show this strong female character being a strong female character who can wear clothes. And I would love to see somebody like Naughty Dog or who's someone who does open world, or Bethesda. I would love to see them do it open world style and just really dive into it.
What about you, Donnie?
Well, I was going to say Zelda, and then we got Hyrule Warriors, which I think hits the itch. I know a lot of people have always wanted that gigantic open world Zelda Skyrim thing. It's a hard one, really, with like the developer stuff, because it's easy to say I want like an open world game that Bethesda does because they own that stuff. So Mo, nice for taking the easy road there.
Sorry.
How about Sonic? Dude, Sonic sucks. And Sonic was really good when I played it as a child on Genesis. And I've went back and replayed it with the 3D classics on 3DS, and Sonic 1 and 2 still are really good. Like those games still hold up. But the new Sonics, man, they're terrible. I tried to play and I got all excited about Sonic Lost World when it was like a Wii U exclusive, and then that game's terrible. And the best thing Sonic has done in the last few years is Sonic versus Mario at the Olympics. And I do feel like maybe Nintendo just needs to take Sonic. Maybe they need to farm Sonic out to Nintendo and give it to EAD and let them give us a Donkey Kong Country, Sonic game. Like, give it to some people that know how to do platformers, and give us a Sonic game that's worthy of still being called a Sonic game. I guess that's about as good as I could go for. I love Sonic. So, I think he's a great character, and those stable characters are coming back, like Ratchet, and everybody got all excited about Crash. Dude, Sonic's way better than Ratchet and Crash. I love those guys, don't get me wrong, but Sonic has he's like in the Mount Rushmore of gaming, like overall, is like recognizable characters. I mean, he's Sonic, like everybody knows who Sonic is. It's just a shame that he's been through the ringer here lately. I would love to get a good Sonic game, and I think I know Nintendo could deliver it. I know there's a lot of people out there who could deliver it, but Nintendo's the one that jumps right off to right at the top of the mind.
With Sonic, what I'm worried about is I feel like you'll get to the Mighty Number 9 type thing with Sonic if you try to rejuvenate him, kind of make him edgy or something like that, and you'll get that negative reception that they got.
Trying to do that with Fire and Ice, where they're like all big and they like big chests and like little arms and stuff. It's terrible. Like, I just want a Sonic game. It's like, in the Nintendo world of things, people are dying for just a Metroid or an F-Zero game, right? Like, no 3D, no giant open world. Like, just give me a 2D side-scrolling Metroid game. Like, I just want a fast platforming Sonic game. It can't be that hard.
Yeah. It'd be nice to see something eventually come back. There's been a lot of indie games that have come and have really taken that side-scrolling genre and made it amazing. I would love to see what a developer like Sega could put behind it. Get an indie developer that has created something amazing, like, I don't know.
Like Runner 2.
Yeah.
Like, what about like an endless runner? Like it was like a rhythm game. I could totally get into that with Sonic. Like, speed it up, make it a little faster, make it a little harder, give me some controls, and like let it go. I mean, you could do a twist on Sonic, but I'm sitting here trying to think as I keep breathing heavy. I'm trying to think the last good Sonic game I liked. I didn't like Generations. I mean, I like Sonic All Stars Racing, but I don't think that counts. I liked Colors, right? Sonic Colors on the Wii. Yeah, that was the last Sonic game that I enjoyed. That's way too long ago, and I don't think many people enjoyed that one. Yeah, so
The last one I remember enjoying was Sonic and Knuckles.
yeah. I mean, I played that on Game Gear. That's how far that goes back for me. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, you're spot on. And I mean, those games, I think the problem with Sonic is that people always think it has to be super fast because that's what they remember. But if you go back and play those Sonic games, you're not like constantly running at full speed the whole time. Like you get these little segments where that happens, but most of the time it's just platforming. It's just jumping and jumping and jumping. There is a game on, I think it's on everything, to be honest with you. And it's going to kill me that I don't know it because I played it. And it's kind of Sonic-esque. It's on Wii U. It was on the Nindies at Home program. I'm sure it's on PS4 and Xbox One. Nathan, you give me yours. I'm going to find this game.
So for me, there's one that just I thought of as an honorable mention that I'll bring up later. But my main one would be, as far as franchise goes, and you know me, it's going to be Star Wars, right? It's got to be Star Wars, and it's going to be Knights of the Old Republic. Give me a proper Knights of the Old Republic 3, but make it, or I want CD Projekt Red to make it.
It's a good one.
If you can, if they can do what they've done with The Witcher and just how amazing that is, and the combat and how everything is just amazing with The Witcher, and put that into a galaxy far, far away, and be able to bring that amazing storytelling and the lore and everything together, oh man, that would be another amazing game because the first Knights of the Republic was amazing. It was impeccable. It was an amazing game for the time. The second one was a little bit of a letdown. It was rushed. It was released, and there was a, if you had it on PC, you could go to the unfinished worlds and try to piece together what they were going to do. But then they released the MMO, which is not, it's not what people want. They want a proper Knights of the Old Republic 3, a proper sequel. And I would love to get a new generation version of that on Xbox One, PS4, PC, and be done by CD Projekt Red. That would be so amazing, and it'd be so good. But there's a lot of Star Wars projects in the works right now, and there could be something that kind of scratches that itch. You never know. But man, The Witcher is just such a great mechanically game and just amazingly built and put together. If I could get Star Wars like that, that'd be so good. My honorable mention, because you were talking about Sonic, and when I was thinking about that, I thought about Mega Man. And I thought about Mega Man Legends, and I liked the first Mega Man Legends a long time ago. I think it was on the first PlayStation. I remember playing that and really enjoying that game. I wish they would kind of be able to revisit that, Mega Man Legends, and just kind of reboot that. And if I think of somebody who would make that would be good with it, kind of think Insomniac would be good for that too, because the way that they had like weird traversal mechanics on Mega Man. So it'd be interesting to see another Mega Man Legends game. But did you find what you were looking for, Donnie?
I did. It's called Freedom Planet, and unfortunately, it looks like on the developer website it is a Wii U exclusive console, but it's on PC, it's on Steam and COG, and you can play it on Windows. And it looks exactly like a really great Genesis game. So it's got all that that pixel art stuff and that style, and it kind of plays like a Sonic game. So if there's somebody out there that wants to play something similar to a Sonic game that's good, I would very much recommend that. I put a few hours into it. I'd say I played it 4 or 5 hours. I didn't beat the game, but I played it for a good day, and it's fun, and it's a fun game.
Nice. So, no more questions this week, but we do have one comment from Twitter, and that is from @MR_DAnthony, and he says, quote, @_PSVG. Hi guys, it's me, Dan. I want a game from you guys, or from your nice podcast, and it was a great game. Thanks again, you're the best. He posts a picture of Quantum Break and a picture of the achievement of completing Act 5. So, I believe, Mo, that was your contest that you ran, and he is indebted to you.
He's not indebted to me. I just am so thankful that he listened and was able to jump in and win it. I want to do more, and I'm going to try to find ways to get us more games. I'm currently working on something that I hope to get up and rolling by the end of the month. So keep listening, keep loving, keep sharing, and stay active in the forum.
Awesome. And you can, again, interact with us on Facebook, Twitter, and you can email us as well. Donnie, what's the email address?
PlaySomeVideoGames@gmail.com.
Mo, what's the Facebook link?
Play some video games at Facebook?
I think you just have to search for Play Some Video Games on Facebook
It's
right now.
Facebook.com/PlaySomeVideoGames.
Okay,
That's what I said.
And then obviously on Twitter it is @_PSVG. So we look forward to hearing and interacting with you guys, and definitely come onto the forums too. The forums over at playsomevideogames.com. We are all over there talking about things like achievements and how how much Coach Mo loves playing Red Dead Redemption on his Xbox One. And there's many other conversations that are going on regarding NX and some other cool stuff. So hop on over to the forums and see what's happening over there. So, gentlemen, our main topic for this week. Are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Taco Cat?
Taco Cat, indeed. So, what does Taco Cat mean to you, Donnie?
I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about.
It's a lifestyle.
Oh my god.
It's the same forward as his back.
See what happens when Kevin's not here.
Oh, it's okay. So the topic for this week is 2016 gaming to-dos. Now, we're halfway through the year. That's hard to believe, isn't it? We're halfway through 2016.
I feel like we're more than that.
Well, we
like
are, technically.
Fall is like my kids are about to go back to school.
Have the school commercial starts for the back-to-school stuff yet?
Yeah.
So for 2016, what are your gaming to-dos? Anything that is on your radar that you are really looking forward to? Anything on your backlog that you really want to get hammered out? Any systems that you're looking forward to or technologies coming out? Let's start with you, Donnie. What do you have on the horizon for 2016? What are your gaming to-dos?
My gaming resolution of 2016 was to play some RPGs. And it spawns out of me completing Child of Light last year with my daughter. And it was really kind of, I wouldn't say my first RPG. It was my first RPG that I really got into and beat, and I kind of enjoyed it. And I started thinking to myself, man, I've never really given this genre of game a try before. Maybe I should. And I subsequently tried to play Final Fantasy X, the remaster, and I don't like Final Fantasy. I played Xenoblade Chronicles on 3DS, and it's a fine 3DS game. Don't think it holds up as well as people say they did. I played Fable Anniversary, which I would think is an adventure game. I don't really think of it as an RPG, but I do love the Fable series, and I played and beat that on my PC. I played Xenoblade Chronicles X for 50 or 60 hours before I gave up. I'm currently playing Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and I'm looking forward to playing Dragon Quest and Pokemon, and eventually, at some point, Nathan, I promise you, I will boot up The Witcher and give it a solid try. So that is my, I think that's a pretty good list. I set out and, I wanted to play RPGs, and I've gotten through those, whether, for good or for bad, but I've gotten through them. Some I've really enjoyed and some I haven't. I'm loving Tokyo Mirage Sessions right now. I'm loving Xenoblade. I loved Xenoblade Chronicles X. I keep telling myself I'm going to go back there, but I don't think I am. Maybe I'll fall in love with The Witcher. The Witcher scares the hell out of me. Like I've said it before, it's just I'm scared that it's so big. It's just I feel like if I started playing it now, I wouldn't play anything else, and that's the thing that I think kind of keeps pushing me away from. Is I'm scared that if I play it, then I can't play anything else. And there's a lot that I'm looking forward to. My big to do from here forward is I want to replay through Gears of War, the series, all of them. I have the entire series backwards compatibility on my Xbox One.
I need to play through it the first time.
Oh, you never played through them all?
No, only the first one.
Oh, I don't even think that's the best one. I think 2 and 3 are both better than 1. So I would like to play through Gears of War 1, 2, 3. I never played Judgment, so I definitely have got to get through Judgment. If I don't get through all the other ones, I've got to get through Judgment before 4 drops, because I am super excited to play Gears of War 4. I play that series for the campaign, the solo mode, just like Call of Duty. So don't really care about the multiplayer. It means nothing to me. Like all I want to do is get through the story and see what happens to the characters and play that awesome campaign and cut some folks in half with my giant chainsaw machine gun. So that's definitely on my to-do list. I'd like to commit to beating Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, it's a really long game, as like all these Japanese RPGs are. So I don't know if that'll ever come to fruition, but I want to say that I'll get there because I really enjoy it. That Zelda demo from E3 got me super excited, and I'm kind of, as I mentioned to Jason, I'm kind of feeling that itch to play Wind Waker again. I booted it up the other day while I was just sitting there, like not doing anything. I had my Wii U tablet in my hand, and I was just hanging out in front of the TV while the kids were playing, and I just clicked on the icon and booted up, and I saw the art and stuff. And if you guys haven't played it on your Wii U's, I'm telling you, that game it's I would make the argument, Nathan, it's the prettiest game this gen. Still to this day, I will make that argument. There are very few visually things that will impress you as much as that game running on a big screen TV in all of its glory. So I might give that a go too. So I might try to get through Wind Waker. I'm definitely getting through Gears, finish Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and then maybe get through The Witcher before the end of the year, in addition to all the other games that I'm buying. But those are like the ones that really at the top of the list. That's what I would like to do before 2016 comes to a close.
That's a solid list, man. That's a lot of to-dos. I mean, you're halfway through the year. How did you do so far? Then you had, some of the ones that you gave a shot to, but did you find yourself going back to the well of games that you knew and loved a lot more often than you thought you would?
Yeah, always. I mean, I played Hyrule Warriors over again on 3DS just because I really enjoyed it. I'm always booting up Hot Shots Golf or Mario Golf on something. The Wind Waker thing is something I'll probably go back to because I played that game like at least once every 2 years. I'm trying to think. I think there's something on PlayStation. Oh, I downloaded Killzone. The launch game for PS4, which I really enjoyed when it came out, and I'm probably going to play through that at some point again because I'm kind of missing it. And last week Nathan, you missed it. Last week we had a discussion about games that we bought like impulse purchases because they were on sale, and I told folks that you don't buy a game unless you're going to play it next. Well, both PlayStation and Xbox had summer sales, and I didn't lose my wallet or anything, but I did buy the Arkham game on Xbox One for $15.
Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
You should have gotten the premium edition for another $10.
I got so much downloadable content with it for free. I don't know how, all of what I got, but I remember I downloaded like 6 or 7 skin packs and stuff for free that came with the game. But at some point I want to boot that up and see what that's all about too, because I stayed away from it because the reviews on it weren't so hot. But I do love the Arkham games. Like that entire trilogy was great, and I played them all. I played it on Wii U, PS. I think I played those games on 3 different consoles. I think I played the first one on 360, the second one on PlayStation 3, and the third one on Wii U. Is that right?
Spread it out. Yeah.
I
know
think
the
so.
third one was
the
on.
Armored Edition.
Yep.
Yeah, that was great. A great Wii U game. So I do love that series. And, sometimes you just got to get the Batman out, like just like that Star Wars. Sometimes you just get the itch.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a lot of content right there to talk about. So, I guess I'll go in. Mo will give you a little more time to talk about Madden here in a second. But, for me, the to-dos on my list, I have a ton of games that I really want to get to and to play. On the near horizon, see what I did there, is to go back and play some more Witcher 3, the Blood and Wine add-on, because that just came out right before I moved, and once I get my stuff set up, I really want to go back and play through that and experience that, because I mean it's the completion of the Witcher 3 story, so I'm looking forward to that. So that's the near term to do. But after that, I really want to go through and play for the first time the Gears of War games. I want to go through the first one again because I have the remastered or whatever they call it edition on Xbox One, and I have all the backwards compatible ones as well. So I want to go through and experience that, and then maybe understand why I would be excited for the new Gears of War, because I don't feel excited for it, honestly. I know it looks pretty, and I know you're looking forward to it, Donnie, but it just doesn't do anything for me.
That windstorm, man. That windstorm.
There's windstorms in The Witcher.
Yeah, but you don't have this giant gun in your hand.
No, I got a big sword.
Nope. Doesn't do the same.
So I'm looking forward to going through those. I mean, I want to get through... I've only played of the Master Chief Collection the first campaign. I need to go through and I want to play the remastered, because they totally remastered the Halo 2 campaign for this collection, and I want to go through and I want to play that. I want to play Halo 3, ODST, Halo 4 again. I need to go back and play Halo 5 more, because I honestly, for Extra Life last year, I played through the campaign, and that's all I've played. I know that the multiplayer is fantastic and it's really good and really a vibrant community playing it. I feel like I've kind of missed the boat, and if I go to try to play it now, I'd be just terrible and, would be a detriment to whatever team I'm on. But I want to go back and play more of that because I know Q loves it so much. He plays a ton of it. And yes, Q, I do have the letter to send your way. You are the bigger Halo fan at this point. But one day I might be able to regain that mantle. But it's one of those things that's on my list. I need to go back and I want to play it. There's so much time I want to spend on Halo. But I'm also looking forward to I'm not buying any games right now, but there's so many games that I want to play and I want to buy. Inside, yes, that's number one because it's a short experience. All the podcasts that I listen to are spoiling it. They have spoiler casts for Inside. And I'm like, I can't listen to this. I gotta stop. And I've been able to get by on a lot of things, but I've just heard that this game got a 10 on IGN, and all the sites it's above 9. It's on Metacritic. I think it's in right in the mid 90s. But it's one of those games where I loved Limbo, I loved Braid, I love those types of games where they just are able to really treat this as art and make it an immersive experience. And I really want to play Inside. It's so tough not to buy it and play it, but I really want to. It looks fantastic. So there's a ton of games that I really want to play. That one of our friends and listeners gave me a code for Quantum Break on PC that I still need to get to and play. And that's another thing I want to do. It's on my to-do list, is play more PC games. My Steam account, I got like over 200 or 300 games in my Steam account, but I never play any of them. And
do you like to? Do you like to play on your computer? Because I've got the same. I don't like playing on my computer screens.
I don't prefer it. Let's just say that. My computer, honestly, gives better graphics than either my PlayStation 4 or my Xbox One because I have a GTX 970 in there. And it's one of those things where I don't like to necessarily play games at my computer because at work, I work on a computer all day, and don't want to sit in a chair at home and a desk and play games. And I know that there's options to, hook your PC up to your TV and stuff like that. But at that point, I just want a controller in my hand. And I just want to kick back and not have to worry about, making sure my antivirus is up to date or any of that stuff.
I treat my PC almost like a portable. Like I play when I'm away from home.
I don't even do that. When I'm away from home, I don't really even have time. I don't have time to play, for one thing. I bring comics to try to read, and I don't have time to read those either. So I'm just, when I'm away from home, I don't have time to do anything. Because if I'm going somewhere, I'm usually driving. I don't really, if I'm in the air, I'm either watching a movie or trying to read a comic, but usually I'm watching a movie or sleeping, or trying to sleep at least. And it's just one of those things where when I'm away on my laptop, yeah, I have FTL. I like that game a lot, and I'll boot it up on my Mac every now and then. But my Mac is my travel device, That's what I travel with, that and my phone. And on my phone, yeah, I have some games, but I don't really play games on my iPhone at all. And I just have a few games that I would play on my Mac because not all of the Steam library works on Mac. It's just a few games do. But, so another part of my to-do, and I feel like I'm going long, but anyway, is to give VR a chance.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? I want to give VR a chance to really sell itself to me, because still to this point, with Oculus being out, I have nobody has come and said Oculus is the second coming of gaming. Nobody has come out and said that it's the best thing ever, right? I feel like I would hear it if it was as impactful as people wanted it to be. But I just haven't heard that. And so with these the PlayStation VR experiences that they're having at Best Buys and GameStops around, I kind of want to go check one of those out, but at the same time I kind of don't want to because I don't know how clean those things are that people are putting on their faces. So I want to give it a fair shake. I might try out PlayStation VR because it just seems to be the most accessible and easiest one to just kind of plug and play. But, it's just, I want VR to be amazing. I really do. But it hasn't. Nobody has sold it to me yet that it's going to be really good and amazing. And another thing is, I don't know, like I don't wear glasses or anything, which is, not a hindrance or anything to that, but I just don't like to be closed off from my dogs, from my family, from, what may be happening around the house, the doorbell ringing, someone knocking, or being able to see someone come out through the window. I don't like to be closed off from that, honestly. So I don't know how much I would like it or how claustrophobic I might feel with VR. So again, I want to give it a shot. I don't want to just poo-poo it and be like, oh, I don't want to do that. Because when I was a kid, I remember loving the idea and the concept of VR. I went to Disney Quest once down at Disney World, and they had this lightsaber game that was like Jedi Knight graphics. But it was, you had this little thing and you had a lightsaber on it. And if they do that with PSVR or anything, they give you that real lightsaber type experience, that would probably sell me on it. I mean, Star Wars has been my gateway to a lot of different things that I wouldn't necessarily do or try. So, to sum it all up, I have a lot of stuff to do yet in 2016.
It sounds like it.
But
I thought of two more.
Okay.
Or I thought of at least one more, and then I wanted to ask you about another one because you might know more about it than me. Sorry, Mo. I'm going to jump in here. I think you're going to like it, Mo. I've heard you two talk so much about Horizon.
Oh, yes.
That I have the itch to try it.
Oh, hey, right now it's on sale. You can get the Fast and Furious one.
No, I don't want
$5.
That I don't want a license thing. I want the new one.
But
I want the one on the beach and stuff.
But it gives you a taste, so you can understand why it's so good and why you would want to put $60 to it in the fall.
Yeah, but is it all like Fast and Furiously? Like, is Vin Diesel's voice all over it and stuff?
No, it's ludicrous.
Actually, it's ludicrous.
No, that's a bad. See, this is how you don't get people to try your games, gentlemen. It's a bad recommendation. One of the things that was on my gaming to-do list and my most anticipated games, and the one I was super excited for at E3 was We Happy Few. I've been waiting for that game for so long. I'm very excited to play it. However, I've been reading that the preview that's going up at the end of the month is not like the game. I was kind of thinking it was the game, like half of the game, and it's not. It's like a piece of the game, and it's not even all of the systems of the game, and the game is not coming until 2017. And knowing that, I'm actually taking the stance that I might wait out on it because I kind of don't want it ruined by not it being complete or anything like that. And something I could see me if I get into it and it's not complete and it's just not all there. If there's anything wrong with it, I could see myself not coming back to it. So I'm now thinking for the betterment of me and not trying to ruin, my expectations for the game, waiting for it to be at its best before jumping in.
We Happy Few is an interesting one to put in preview program from what I understand of the game. But,
there's like no story that's being like, they're like, there's no story that's going to be in the preview except for like the very intro of the game. And I'm like, well, that's kind of my main tie of jumping in.
Yeah. I will try the free 30 minutes or whatever they give us of the game for sure, just to get a taste of what it's about and have a better understanding of the product that they're building. Because yeah, it's a preview, literally. That's what they call a preview program. They're still building the game. It's gonna get updates left and right until they get the game completed and actually ship it. But it's one of those things too. You could say, hey, you're gonna give a preview program a try. You're gonna buy a game and watch it be developed and go on that journey with the developer and really understand, oh, this is what a game looks like and this is the journey that it went on. That could be a really cool concept too, because this is a game that you're looking forward to, and taking the opposite stance of let's see what they do to make this game better, to understand where they're at the preview phase and then where they come to at the conclusion. I mean, obviously you don't want to ruin it for yourself. I understand that, but thinking of it from the other perspective, that could be a really cool, process.
Maybe I've never done that before. I know it's a big thing on PC and stuff, and I've never really done betas or alphas or anything like that. I've always just give me your best shot. Like, I don't want a piece of what you got. I'll wait. Like, I'm happy to wait.
What if they released Hot Shots in a preview program?
So that's more of like an arcade game. So like if I just got to play the same course over and over again, I could. Power Star is kind of like that.
Yeah.
So like, I just kind of played the same course over and over again. So that I wouldn't compare the apples to apples. But like to make a better analogy, if Nintendo said, "All right, we got Zelda, but you can only play the first the temple," I would wait. I wouldn't play it. Like I'd be like, "All right, I'm gonna wait," because I don't want to. Because that's the other thing. Like, what if it's so good, then now I have to wait 7 more months, and I feel like I'm just happier to wait. I think that for me at least, I'm thinking of all the different outcomes I can run. I think just waiting for the game to be out is probably the best course of action.
So when you go to a restaurant, you don't order appetizers.
No, I do. I don't look at that as an appetizer because, like, what if the appetizer is really bad? Like, what if the appetizer makes you sick? Like, that's the thing that scares me because you have to expect it. That's the other thing. You have to. I saw. You know what? I'll just go ahead and call him out. My very good buddy Chris, Uncle Bread fan, over at Married to the Games, was all over Twitter about how Pokemon Go crashed on him the one time he tried to open it. And he was like, nope, not doing this. And I'm like, well, you have to expect it to crash. There's like 40 million people downloading it right now. So you almost have to expect it, like with a beta, which is more or less what this preview program is. The game's not finished, right? So I don't want to take any judgment from it in an unfinished state. So I think for me, I'm just going to pass. I'll just wait. I've waited this long because I've known about this game way longer than the masses that just found out about it, and I'm happy to wait. I hope it pays off.
Mo, we've put you in the corner for long enough. Go ahead and lay it on us. What are your gaming to-dos?
Well, as you know, I love making lists. So I actually have mine as a list from least important to most important to do for 2016. My least important one was I want to win all 7 major sports championships on my Xbox or PS4. I've already won Madden. My Bears defeating Mr. Dan Anthony's Jets in the Super Bowl. I've already won NBA, Rory McIlroy golf. It will be the show. My Cubs beat the Yankees in our little group online play, and I've done it in FIFA. The 2 I have not won it in yet is UFC 2 and NHL. UFC 2, I lost a real close one, so I'm not going to see a championship fight for probably 2 or 3 more fights. In NHL, I'm still midway through the season. I just keep getting stuck on. They have such an awesome online play where you get to play as your skater with a bunch of other players in game, and I love that mode so much. That I do that the most. My next one is finally get to that 100,000 gamer score. What am I at? 98,000 some change. So I'm almost there. I'll probably hit that one next couple of months. If I don't, go grab some easy ones to flip. Number 3 or next one. My third one that's getting more important. I'd love to finally complete a raid in Destiny. I got to jump in with Dan and Q, Brian, Haley, and I got to experience a raid. And I've never had more fun having no idea what's happening, playing a game. And so I'm super competitive. So we're at this point where you have to grab this shield and use this shield to help cleanse the darkness or whatever. I don't know what's happening, but someone said race. And so even though I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this shield, I fly down the hill, jump over this stuff, get there first, pick it up and said race, I win. And everyone's like, no, don't pick it up. That starts the round. They're all freaking out. And I don't know why they're freaking out. And then we get destroyed. Uh-huh. But I had so much fun playing with that group and them letting me get my first raid under my belt. We weren't able to finish it because Q got booted because of internet problems with Time Warner. But it was one of the most joy-filled, fun experiences I've ever had gaming. And I'm so grateful that group did it with me. And now I just got to get a group of 6 to actually complete one. I can't wait to do that. My second most important to do, get the 1,000 achievement score in Overwatch. I'm having so much fun in that one, trying to hunt down those chiefs. They actually take a little bit of practice and skill, so they're kind of fun.
That's one game I'm really looking forward to playing with in the fall with you guys, if you still play it, that is.
You know me. I don't trade my games in unless they don't have achievements. So PS4 stuff and Wii U stuff I trade, but I don't trade Xbox stuff. So I'll always have it around if you want to play. But the most important thing I want to do in 2016, play Madden 17 with the crew. I'm so excited to get to see this much improved Bears team compared to the crap storm that was my poor Bears this last year.
I don't even know who I'm going to use yet.
And so getting to play with them, with you and Dan and that whole group, and just playing through our connected franchise and hearing all the smack talk that goes through, I can't wait for Josh to rib Brian a little bit. I have so much fun with that group, and I really just hope that we can get people who just love playing Madden and just have a good time talking, and yeah, I'm so jacked for it. So those are my most important to-dos for 2016.
Nice. Awesome. So what about you, dear listener? What are your most important to-dos for 2016? Send us a tweet at _PSVG or shoot us an email. Go to the forums. Let us know what you think are your top to-dos for 2016. Halfway through the year, you don't have much time left to go, so let's get to it. Gentlemen, how about some news?
This week in Play Some Video Game News.
Me first.
Okay.
So it turns out that a brand new Overwatch character is going to be announced at San Diego Comic-Con. This was broken over by the guys at GameSpot, but there were some cryptic tweets going out, and looks like we're going to be getting a new Overwatch character to play with. And the rumor is it's going to be a healer who actually has a pretty good weapon with them. So it's going to make an adjustment to the heroes we have now who aren't as offensive. They're going to give us a healer who's maybe, and they talked about having, I quote, a rifle that could function as a long-range attack for a potential support hero. So pretty excited about that.
That's pretty cool. I'm going to go and give my little news bit here because I only really got one, and then I'll let you go, Donnie, because I know you'll probably got a couple under your belt. So for me, we touched on it earlier in the podcast, but Red Dead Redemption is now backwards compatible on Xbox One, and it's a lot of people being able to play that now, so that's really cool. And in addition, to tie into that, Xbox is having a huge sale on their digital store. So Xbox One, Xbox 360, Windows 10 games, they have a lot of good discounts going on right now. And one of those discounts is Red Dead Redemption. You can get it for $7.50 and play through that on your Xbox One or Xbox 360. You can get the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which puts out to 4K on Windows 10. That's $20. Shadow Complex Remastered is $10 on Windows 10. There's just a lot of good content out there to check out. I know, like Just Cause is out there for sale. Mirror's Edge, Catalyst, Batman. There's a lot of great content. Witcher 3 is out there. If you want to go check out, there's over 200 some items on sale. So it's a really good deal. If you're gold, you save another 10%. So you can go check it out on your dashboard, on MajorNelson.com, on the Xbox website, and go out there, find a game, and check it out. So that's all I got for news. Donnie, what you got?
Unfortunately, Undead Nightmare is not included in that RDR sale. All right, for news, I got a couple quick hits. The first, it appears that Microsoft will be updating the Xbox Live avatars as wheelchairs are coming, and the screenshots that release show a slightly new design. I like the avatars. I like the Miis. I think it's cool, a little personality. I think it's a lot better than just a picture for an avatar. I've even bought clothes for my Xbox avatar. I think I'm rocking like an Ohio State hoodie. I think I gave them like $1. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it's a great idea. Resident Evil 4 remaster, the last of the 6.5 4 remasters from Capcom is coming August 30th. The screenshots they released, again, don't look incredibly attractive. So I love that game. I think everybody loves that game. It's a great video game. I was really kind of hoping it was getting the full remaster treatment, and it doesn't look like it is. But maybe I'm wrong. Adam Boyes has left PlayStation to go work for game development. Adam Boyes is the PlayStation guy that had that I would call it infamous, but very famous video during the 2013 E3 where him and Shuhei showed how used games work on PlayStation 4, where they just handed it to one another. And he's been on the E3 stage many times. He works with a lot of the indie devs I know, and he's a great personality. I've always enjoyed him. I thought he was a great character, very funny guy. I love his interviews, way better than Andrew House, in my opinion. So he doesn't come off as corporate-y as some of the other Sony execs. So sad that we won't see him on stage. Great that he's staying in the business. That's always good to hear. And then my last big news, or like I think the big news, is that Evolve, the co-op multiplayer shooter that came to consoles and PC, is being relaunched on PC as Evolved Stage 2. And it is a free-to-play game, and it is available right now. You can go download it and play it for free.
So how does that affect those who bought it?
So the way that the repack, so if we go back, the game, when it came out, I think I heard a lot of noise saying this should be a free-to-play game. And during the time, everybody hated free-to-play. I remember that as a really big topic of conversation when Evolve came out. Is everybody hated free-to-play because they thought everything was going free-to-play. And I think Evolve took I think the game might have been thought of as free-to-play, and then due to the climate, it might have been changed. I don't know. I mean, that's just my thoughts. So it looks like they're retooling it now to be free to play. So if you bought the game before and you had all the DLC and stuff, you get it all. You don't have to pay extra or anything like that. You just have access to it right out of the gate, and your version's already updated. But if you get the free version, then you get to play as like one of the characters, and you get to fight one of the monsters, and then you can buy like add-ons and stuff like that, and different classes, and you can buy what you want out of the game and play it as much as you want. I think that's great for the game. I hope it comes to console. Right now it's only PC released. It gives that game some life. I never played it. I demoed it. I remember playing in a demo in a Best Buy. It was really fun. I didn't get it because it was multiplayer only, and I'm not going to spend $60 on a multiplayer-centric game, especially something that doesn't have a local co-op. Because when I say that, I thought to myself Splatoon, and it's like that doesn't count because I played it with my kids and I played the campaign. But a multiplayer-centric game like that where you have to have 4 friends to play it. So going free-to-play gives me more. I'll probably download it. I might even play it for a night. I might boot up Steam and good old Jason Lacey on the phone and go play Evolve with him. But if they really want to get me to try to play that game, bring me a free-to-play version. Bring Evolve Stage 2 to consoles, and I'll definitely play it. I will absolutely boot it up for a couple of nights as a free-to-play game because I'm not going to be that player that's way into it, and I know it's a very competitive game, and I'm not going to be, upgrading all of my stats and buying all of the characters and stuff. You give me a character, teach me how to play. I just want to play with friends, and I just want to have some fun nights, while I have a drink and sit back and laugh with Nathan and Mo or whoever I'm playing with. So free to play definitely makes that more intriguing to me. That's all I have for news, but I will kick it back to you guys. I mean, what do you think about Evolve going free to play?
I mean, whatever gives it some more legs, I guess you could say. I think that with all the DLC that was available to it, it almost kind of was free to play in a way, because the base was just very bare bones, but they added a ton of stuff to it if you had the season pass. I think there were actually 2 season passes. They did like a season 1 and a season 2, if I remember right. So in all, I think you had $60 for the base game, and then another $60 for both season passes. So it was like $120 total, if not a little more. Yeah, so I mean, that should have been free to play if that was their model all along. That was kind of crazy, but I think that'll be nice that the developers will be able to get some more people getting exposure to the game, maybe getting some more people, putting it out on Twitch or on YouTube or something. But what do you think, Mo?
I actually ended up buying Evolve for 2 friends and sending it to them so we could play together. It's a great game. Like, I have a lot of fun playing it. The problem is it's the same situation that games like Titanfall ran into. Really good at the start, but once you've played that one game mode 25 times, it kind of loses its flavor. And that's the same thing that I hope Overwatch doesn't run into, where people go, I've played the same game mode over and over and over again. Yep, the characters are great. Yep, the colors are great. But that's all I have. And with this, I'm really hoping they dive in and unlock more content. I hope they do it right. I hope they're not making a bunch of microtransactions. I hope they do it where you can make every one of these purchases by just dominating the game. But Evolve is super fun.
I got an update. I clicked on a leak and I want to dive in further, so I'll update you right here. Quote, to be clear, there's no longer any purchase required to play the game. You can't actually spend money on anything currently. Developer Turtle Rock Studio says all content is available in-game and can be unlocked through play for free.
Nice. See, I fully
Maybe they're
support
prepping a sequel. You know, maybe the whole DLC stuff and everything being locked and all that was a bad thing, so maybe they're giving it out for free to prep folks for a sequel.
that. I like that plan.
That's a good plan to win over, any detractors. Not a good plan for making money, but I guess they're not making any money off the game anymore anyway. I mean, I don't know. You tell. I don't have it. I'm assuming that there's people not dropping money on Evolve anymore.
Well, there will be people that will go and try to find it or play it or something. This is news. People are talking about it. It's creating a buzz again about Evolve, and I think that's exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah, it sounds like, and reading further in this article from GameSpot, go ahead and give them some credit. Turtle Rock's surprisingly honest announcement acknowledged, quote, the DLC shitstorm the game faced and how it washed away people's enthusiasm, dragging us further and further from that magical pick-up-and-play experience that we had at the beginning. So if all these quotes are to be believed, and again, we don't have our hands on it, and it's PC only, maybe it comes to consoles, maybe not, it kind of sounds like, yeah. I would say this approach sounds like marketing to me. Let's get people liking our game again, and then let's prep the sequel. That's my take.
Any further thoughts on this, Mo? Or any other news?
I actually do have one bit of news that I wanted to share with everybody. I can't believe I spaced it earlier today. You don't have to take the base 3 Pokemon when you start Pokemon Go. If you simply walk away from those characters 4 times, I think it is, you can start with Pikachu.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
When you start the game, you're going to do your character customization. Instead of, they give you 3 to choose from. I only know the name of one. I don't know the name of the other 2. It's Charizard?
Charmander, Squirtle,
That-
Bulbasaur.
So you have those 3 in front of you. You can simply just walk away and keep walking away 4 times, and it's going to keep bringing you back to those 3. If you don't choose them, you can pick up Pikachu.
Damn it. Now I'm going to have to uninstall the game. Well, I guess it's already tied to my account. Damn it.
Time to make a new
Google
account, Donnie.
Yeah, that's like, time to change it all over. I've been using this account for 10 years, and it's out the window now.
All right, so that wraps up what we have for news this week. So, gentlemen, it's the wrap-up time. Donnie, final thoughts.
None.
Well put.
Yep.
Mo?
I love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Man, you guys are insightful. Thank you so much. For me, yeah. Hey, you know what? This has been a lot of fun being able to talk video games again. I know I've missed a few episodes and I've missed it, but I have enjoyed listening to the discussions that went on. Being able to listen to the show as just a guy who submitted a question a couple times, just kind of see what you guys talked about. It was great to be able to just sit back and listen. And so, dear listeners, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And, hop on the forums. Hop on playsomvideogames.com. Talk to us. We don't bite, except for Kyle and Kevin. They bite a little bit, but, not much. I mean...
They'll nibble
a little bit. I mean, but now that Kevin's had the mac and Cheetos, I don't think he can actually open his mouth anymore. I think he's got lockjaw. So, you might be okay to be around him for at least now until he gets back. So, but yeah. Come over, talk to us on the forums, talk to us over on Twitter, Facebook, whatever your social media preference is. Shoot us an email. What's the email again, Donnie?
playsomvideogames@gmail.com, and also find Q, who's twitching. Apparently, he's constantly over there on Twitch playing Halo, playing Gears, playing Overwatch. I don't care about watching people play Halo. I haven't played Overwatch yet, but I really do enjoy watching him play Overwatch, man. That looks like a blast.
It looks pretty good, man. That's one of the games, again, I want to play that. It looks good. So, for this week, that'll do it. Kevin likes to say never stop gaming, but on the fly, I'm just going to say play what you love what you play, keep on gaming. Was it good? Was it done?
Keep
Nailed
on
it.
keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. Get her done.
I thought you were gonna go there. I was waiting for it. I was like, oh no, no.
Don't do it.